The new Prime Minister inherits a difficult economic landscape. The UK's economy has struggled. Growth is mediocre. Many are feeling the cost of living. Government borrowing costs are the highest amongst the G7. And Andy Burnham has to navigate without putting greater strain on the finances, which are already stretched. The IMF research note on Britain noted that gilts have risen above G7 peers, and that can be seen as investors losing confidence. Mohamed El-Erian is with me. Now, a new economic model. You know, whenever I hear somebody saying phrases like that, grab your wallet and head for the hills, do you know what he means?
I think I do. First, he means a greater emphasis on the implementation of growth policies. One of the problems with the former government is that they spoke a lot about growth, but actually didn't sustain the implementation. The other thing he means is regionalization of growth engines, so that the UK has more than one engine going forward. And then third, a greater emphasis on targeted social spending. So I think of those three things as being a step further than what the Starmer government did, but also maintaining fiscal responsibility.
Can you do that? Regionalisation, you know, it's been tried with number 10 of the North and all of that. But at the end of the day, paying the bills and keeping to Rachel Reeves' fiscal restraint, fiscal promises. Now, the triple lock is something else when it comes to pensions that is also very expensive. Can he do it?
He can, but there are going to be some really difficult decisions. And critically, Richard, he has to learn from the good, the bad, and the ugly of the previous government. The good is the notion of a growth mission and fiscal responsibility. The bad is the inability to translate a growth mission into a comprehensive policy package that was applied on a consistent basis. And the ugly, and you heard about it, is this notion of the Treasury orthodoxy, this inclination of the UK apparatus to reduce economic policy making to narrow budget arithmetic. And every time that happens, we end up by getting the fiscal side right, but the growth side wrong. And you and I know you can't shrink to prosperity.
I just wonder, this idea that the UK is ungovernable, the instability is inherent, it's all post-Brexit. And by the way, we didn't hear anything from Andy Burnham on that in terms of Brexit or in terms of EU or indeed on foreign policy yet. But do you buy this idea that because of it all, the UK has become so unstable that it's almost ungovernable?
I wouldn't go that far. I think had they avoided mistakes, you mentioned what I regard also as a big mistake, which is the first big announcement from the government was on withdrawing the winter fuel subsidies. That was just silly politics. And then there was one mistake after the other made, and the minute you start making mistakes, you're vulnerable. The other big mistake, and I'm not making a political judgment here, I'm just making an economic statement, is to dismantle your main trading relationship without having something to replace it. Economists will tell you, be careful of dismantling something and have nothing to replace. You cannot replace something with nothing. And the UK opted for Brexit without knowing what the alternative is. So I think if there's an avoidance of mistakes, there is a pathway forward.